Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Hello, my name is Bree Joya Smart, aka Miss Bree, and I'm the founder and director of Daytona Beach Music Academy in Daytona Beach, Florida, United States. Just wanted to hop on and tell about my experience with Katie so far, and it's been amazing. She is a wealth of information, and she's very down to earth, straight and to the point, and will tell you the truth. So one of the first things that made an immediate difference for me was my change in prices. And I was planning on doing a price increase in September because that's when I usually do my, what we call my annual calendar. She was like, why wait? Do it now, especially going into summer, which is when a lot of times we'll have a lot of drops. And fortunately, I am happy to report that it made sense to me. My assignment was to do market research to see that I'm not charging too low nor too high. And then from there, I decided on a price and we talked through some different things. I can say that when I went into summer, I did not feel like, oh my gosh, it actually helps me to maintain. There were actually only a few drops, and that was another advice that was given, was like, hey, don't make a big announcement about, hey, what are you going to do for summer? And that made a huge difference. And so, yeah, just those two things alone, raising the prices, doing market research sooner than later, going into the slower season, kept me afloat. And I'm looking forward to more of working with Katie.
Hey guys, Tanya here from Perth, Western Australia. My husband Rob and myself embarked on a journey with Katie over a year ago now. We've got a soccer business in Perth, soccer clinics for 2 to 11-year-olds, and we were finding that we were growing quite quickly without systems and processes in place. So a Facebook ad actually came up with Katie, and we decided to join her program. We haven't done business coaching before in the past, but to be honest with you, we've never had coaching that is so streamlined to children's businesses and activities. And the work we've done in the last year with Katie has just been absolutely amazing. Definitely scrutinised systems, processes, increased profitability, increased trials, restructured our programs, and just simplified so many areas of the business, and it's definitely gotten us some time back, and I couldn't recommend Katie's program more. It's just been absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, Katie, for your time, and I look forward to continue working with you.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I run a dance school in Surrey, and I have been working with Katie at Gold Medal on building my business. If you're looking for someone who is super supportive, an amazing role model, and for training that can help you implement systems and grow the business in the way you need to, then Gold Medal is definitely the place for you. There's so much support, and I really appreciate everything that Katie has put in place to help us all become the CEOs we need to be. Thank you so much, Katie.
My name is Amy Schweizer, founder and director of Tiny Troop Soccer. Tiny Troop Soccer has been in operation now for 10 years, and we are located in the United States. There's over 50 locations in 17 different states. Being in the Gold Medal membership with Katie, we have now reached our highest number ever, over 1,000 players per month, which is a goal we've had for about 3 years now, and we've just hit that last month. So I'm so super excited and thankful. And it's definitely due to some of the processes that we put in place that Katie shared with me. When I first joined Gold Medal, it was, and I think it still is, the only mentorship specifically for children's activity entrepreneurs. I had done a lot of different mentorships and masterminds and different trainings, but nothing was specific to our industry, and that's definitely the key that was missing. When I found Katie and Gold Medal, we were already an established company. Again, that was just a year ago, so we've already been in business for 9 years. But one thing I found through doing the mentorship is I was really able to fine-tune the processes that we had going on, and I had the accountability as a CEO, just someone who I knew was going to be asking me questions and that I needed to report to and turn in numbers to. So that was really significant and helpful. We had never done trials before, and even though most people in their children's activity businesses had, that's something we couldn't figure out because we're located in so many different places. But Katie and the team really helped me figure that out, get it into place, and now we have trials coming in, multiple trials coming in at about a 65% conversion rate, so that certainly helped that number. We've also implemented Facebook ads for the very first time, so we went beyond me trying to do it myself, knowing nothing about Facebook ads, to actually having a Facebook ad specialist. We've hired a sales representative for the first time ever, and so we were really able to create those funnels and processes, just mimicking what Katie and her team have taught us. So that was really helpful and beneficial. We've been able to eliminate a lot of waste. Katie really helped me look at what are we doing, what needs to go, what could money better be spent on. And so my expenses certainly went down while my sales and profitability went up. So I couldn't recommend the Gold Medal coaching program anymore.
there, my name's Shelley and I run a theatre school business for children called Stepping Out Stars of Tomorrow, hence the bubble.
Okay, guys, before we start, we've had a few sound issues. A few people can hear me, but it was cutting out a bit. And then a few people couldn't hear anything at all. So I've just cut that short just so we can get started, as there seems to be a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. Not sure what the connection is. So can you just make sure, can you just pop, thank you, Chloe. So you could hear it. Can you hear me clearly now? I can hear you fine. It was videos. Okay. Thank you, Chloe, for your feedback. Can anybody else hear me? Paul, Kerry, Sam on YouTube, Billy, Instagram. I'm looking screening on multiple different platforms. Sometimes that is why the sound can go a little off. It just depends. Can we just, we've got Key Tuition Brentford. I'd love to know your name. That'd be amazing. So when you're jumping on, just pop, thank you. Cool. You can all hear me. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Excellent. Fantastic. So just as we're about to get started, please put in the chat box. I'd love to know your business. What do you do and what are you here to learn? So if you're on Zoom, please pop it in the chat box on Zoom. If you are tuning in from our social platforms, I said if you see me looking in different directions, I'm making sure I'm serving everybody and everybody is all good. And can I make sure hearing what you want to learn and about your business? We've had over 150 people register for this masterclass. We will have a lot be watching it on replays as well. We're across 4 different time zones. So just pop in here. Chloe, Little Wickets, fantastic. I know lots about Little Wickets. So Chloe is cricket coaching for children. Chloe, tell me a little bit on the size of your business would be good. Key Tuition Brentford, obviously tuition for children, I gather. Any particular tuition that you focus on? We've got football. I'm seeing football coming up. We've got rugby, a few rugbies. Amazing. Performing arts, few gymnastics. Arts, a few arts. Okay, I'm seeing an art club. Fantastic. Great. So keep them in the chat box, guys. As I always say during our masterclasses, the more that you tell me, the more I can help you and personalize things where you need it. Okay. So as much interaction throughout our masterclass, the better. Please put your videos on if you are on Zoom. I do not like speaking to blank screens. I don't care as long as you're not driving. But there's Chloe. Thank you, Chloe. See your lovely face. I love speaking to lovely smiley faces. As long as it's safe to obviously put your camera on. Okay, so a little bit of an intro, guys. Can you just put me a 1 in the chat box and on social platforms, guys? If you're brand new to Gold Medal Business, brand spanking new, don't really know much about us, and put a 2 if you're an established, seasoned mentor with us. We've got lots of people that tune into our masterclasses multiple times again and again. So thank you, Key Tuition. Fantastic. Chloe, fantastic. Welcome and honored to have you here. Excited to be with you today. Okay, awesome. I'm seeing some 2, 2, 2, 2, 2s, a lot of 1s as well. So yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. So a little bit of an introduction, guys, before we start today. So thank you, Yana. From Key Tuition. Fantastic. So a little bit of an introduction. So I'm your host, Katie Cannon. I'm the founder and CEO of Gold Medal Business. And if you're anything like me, I love to learn. I want to know who I'm learning from. I want to know you've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and I can learn a thing or two from you and to know of the length and depth of your experience. So I've been in this industry for nearly 20 years now, started with building gymnastic gyms. And you name it, I've done it. So I have had a mini franchise. I've had over a massive school network in school gymnastic clubs and nurseries, over 100 facilities we had across the London Borough at one point. I've had multiple premises. I've owned my own business, own premises. We've had village hall setups, leisure centre setups, you name it, I've done it. I've had amazing staff and very crap staff with a lot of issues. So you name it, I've been through the whole roller coaster of building a children's activity business over the last 20 years. But one of the things I love to share with you is I am still in the trenches with you. So I'm not teaching you from, this worked 10 years ago when I was in the business. Well, I've got a wealth of experience of 20 years, but I'm still building gyms now. In fact, we opened a brand new one back in January. So I'm teaching you from a wealth of experience, but also what's working, what's not, where you need to pivot, how you need to think differently as an entrepreneur. Okay. So where that gives, what that's enabled me to do, I said first, my background, to give you an idea, first I said I'm very aware we've got a lot of newbies. So I was a British champion gymnast. I for 5 years running. I did 2 worlds, 2 Europeans, came off the back of that and then set up my own business back in 2008. I'm a mum of 3. So I've got Emily, who's 11 today. Can't believe she's 11 today. Ashton, who's 7, and Joshua, who's 3. And one of the things, well, nearly 3, one of the things that I'm incredibly passionate about is helping children's activity entrepreneurs build amazing businesses that can thrive with you, but thrive without you. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I see time and time and time again, and I was one of them. And until I figured out the methods, the processes, the systems that I'm here to share with you, a small peek of what we enable and help you to do, until I figured that out, I was burnt out. I was exhausted. If I went on holiday, the business did not run without me. It might have survived just about, but it certainly didn't thrive. If you don't figure out the processes and the foundations, you will always be in your business. And I run 3 different businesses today with 3 children, all of which can very much thrive very much without me when I'm away. I take all holidays off, and quite often they do better when I'm not actually in them because I've got the team, the processes, the systems, and the mindset of the team members running them behind them. But it wasn't always like that. And that's why Gold Medal Business exists today. We've been running about 3 years. And for many years, people would always say to me, Katie, can you teach me this? Can you teach me how you've done that? But it wasn't the right time. And I didn't have the bandwidth then. So we launched Gold Medal to give you the platform that I didn't have in 2008 when I started and made many, many mistakes, failed my way forwards all the time, lost a lot of money, making mistakes that shouldn't have been made, quite frankly, and said that is why we have the honor of teaching you now to make sure our mistakes are basically moving you forwards at a quicker pace. Okay. So I just wanted to put in the chat box, guys, in terms of what is your biggest challenge at the moment? What is the biggest challenge or obstacle that you are facing with your business at the moment? Obviously, it's the enrollment, the consistent enrollment system masterclass. So today we're doing a lot of marketing, a lot of strategy around marketing. We're not teaching on team, on other systems and processes. There's so much we can teach you. I could keep you here all week, but we're really laser focused. Thank you. So Yana, marketing, student numbers, seeing a few team. Okay, I can help you with that. Not today. I'm not covering team today, though. All about marketing today. And a small piece of that marketing is enrollments. We're focusing very much on front end marketing. Perfect. Team, student numbers, facilities. Exhausted. I'm seeing who feels like their business is running. If you stepped out the business, does it run without me? Just put a no if that is you in the box as well. I'm seeing a few no's. If you went on holiday, it caves. I'm seeing, okay. Yes, I feel you. I hear you. I have been there. Absolutely. So marketing, great. Perfect. So the key thing is your first thing before we start, your mindset has to be in the right place. Now, I start with this because so often people will say to me, Katie, what's the magic unicorn? What's the magic sauce? What's the magic sprinkle on my business that I need and it will change everything? The reality is nothing is just going to move the needle in your business. It's a mixture of everything combination together that is consistently built in your business. But you have to have the mindset of, I am going to grow my business as the CEO. I'm going to move from business owner to leader. I am going to move from leader to CEO. And when you've got that incredibly clear on what your journey looks like, you will start to make very different decisions about your business because you're thinking of it as you are the CEO. You are not in the trenches. You might be thinking, but I'm in the trenches, Katie, but I'm also the CEO. Amazing. You've got the plan that you need to go from business owner to the CEO role. You've got a plan. You've got a vision. Have that. I don't care if you're brand spanking new to business or you've been in business 20 years. Wherever you are, remake the plan. Revisualize what that's going to look like. So when we're talking about the consistent enrollment system, we're going to go through, as I said, I could teach you on marketing. I've just come back from, when it's just come back, it was in February. It feels like yesterday. So, it was an amazing opportunity. I was the keynote speaker at the Australian Gymnastic Conference in February. So for the whole of Feb, we were over in Oz. And it was a phenomenal experience. And I taught 2 days straight, all on marketing. I could teach you for weeks on end about marketing. But the key point that we're going to cover today is external and internal marketing. So I want you just to put on like 2 pillars on your piece of paper, 1 column internal, 1 column external. Because I want you to start thinking in your business of what I'm going to teach you today is nothing new. And quite frankly, I'm sure, I'll be shocked if you don't, I'm sure you have learned it before. But the biggest difference is, as entrepreneurs, especially if you're in the weeds of your business day to day, and you very much can't see the wood through the trees, and maybe you're a very, very small team, or maybe you're a team of 1 at the moment, you need to be able to differentiate on, okay, I need to do this now, or is it the wrong time for my business? I understand that now, but it's the wrong time for my business. Often I see people trying to implement everything all in one go, then fail miserably. Then the consistency is not there. Something breaks. And then feel like you're just chasing your tail. And you're reacting to, oh, I need to do this. Oh, this new thing's come out on social. Oh, I need to do that new reel. And nothing's really working. And when you are really building deep, so today, one of my missions is for you to start and tweak your mindset of, how can I dig deep? I want you to build so strong foundations in your business. You're not tracing new trends, but you're digging deep. You're building very strong foundations that are going to be here today and in the next 20 years. In all our mentorships that we offer at Gold Medal Business, we start with this foundation. All of our training and learnings and methods and strategies are built around you having very strong foundations, because so often, as I said, we see people chasing new things which do work, but they're never going to get that freedom. They've never got that strong process and structure in their business because they're always chasing the new thing. So you need to have strong business foundations to ensure you thrive today and you thrive in 20 years' time. I'm not interested in teaching you the brand new thing that, do you know what, I think that might do really well on TikTok for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Doesn't interest me at all, because that's not going to build you longevity in your business. That's not going to build you strong foundations. And I want you here in the next 10, 20, 30 years. I want you to build a business that you're proud of, that you can pass on, that has built strong foundations and a legacy for you and your family, or whatever you want to create. But it starts with your mindset. It starts with building the deep roots and the deep foundations. So we build in 2 camps when we're doing marketing. So we're building internally and we're building externally. So as I said, straight away, 2 camps, external, internal. The reason why I want you just to think in 2 camps is because you can put, and sometimes it's always like, Katie, I just need to get more student numbers through the door. If I could just have 20 more students through the door, I would be happy. And there's a reason. If you look at all of our marketing that we do for Gold Medal and all of the courses that we offer, mentorship, we don't do a course that we generate 15 students, because it's never just generate 15 new students. There's a lot more to marketing than that. And yeah, you might just generate 15 new students. But if you've not got your external and internal marketing working in tangent together, those 15 students are not going to mean anything. They're just going to come in and leave as fast as they come in. So it's really important you're thinking front end and you're thinking back end. Think of your business. You want to squash it from 2 angles, and there's no leaky buckets everywhere. Super important, front end and back end. So we're going to start with external marketing. So external marketing, think of it of this is anything brand new coming to your business. So this is anything that is, I need to get student numbers coming in. This is also brand awareness. So this is the first step of new customers coming into your business, new people coming into your business. They're hearing about you. They've got new information. They're interested in booking that dance class, that cricket session. They hear about you. They come into your world. This is external. So I'm going to start with Facebook and Instagram ads. So I've picked the 2 core things on each part that will really resonate with you to get the balls rolling in your business, to start building that consistent enrollment system. Now, as I mentioned about your foundations, everything I'm teaching you today, if you build out consistently, and you'll hear me say there's a reason I put consistently in the title, your consistent enrollment system is a reason for that, is because if you do this consistently, you will get results. The biggest thing I see is people coming to me and they're saying, oh, okay, I just didn't get results. Or I just didn't, I didn't feel, we didn't hit that goal, or we didn't carry through on that. And always the reason is the system works, but you didn't. Or maybe one of your team members didn't work it if they're working the system. So a system is only good as you've set it up to be and as good as you're implementing. So everything works. It's just your mindset and the consistency of what you're building time and time again. If you're building a consistent system, which we're going to share parts of it with you today on how you can build this out, is if you're doing this consistently time and time again, the ball will get moving. The momentum will start moving forwards. And then soon enough, you'll be like, you know, we're enrolling. You should be enrolling every single day. You should be having trials booked in your business every single day. You should have enrollments every single day in your business. And when you're working with that mindset, you don't have the feast or famine approach where you're like, oh my gosh, push, 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 push. Let's go. We need enrollments. And then, oh, I'm so exhausted. I'm so exhausted. We've pushed that and now I need a rest. Now my business is recovering. And then we'll probably do another push in a couple of weeks' time. You want to build your business so your emotions are here. You building, it's running, it's all here. We're not doing whoa and whoa. Whoa, you're not creating that roller coaster effect. Business is a roller coaster as it is. Let's not create more. Stable, stable, stable. Who feels like they're on a roller coaster? If you feel like you are not generating new trials every day, you're not generating new enrollments every day, I want you to put roller coaster. YouTube's going mad. Roller, roller, roller. I can see roller coaster. Pop it in the chat box. Who's on Zoom with me? I'm going to make sure you're awake, guys. You're not getting away with this. You're here. You're present. You've carved the time out. Make it count. Make it count. Are you in a roller coaster? Are you not getting trials every day? Are you not getting enrollments every day? If you're not, you're in a roller coaster shaped business. It has to be consistent. Otherwise, you've got peak and troughs. Yana, escape. I love a roller coaster. I'm big fans of them, but not in your business. We help you out. Okay, so Facebook and Instagram ads. This is one of your first piece of obviously external marketing. Now, I'm going to address this on when to do ads and when not to do ads. We all know they work, but I see them being done so badly. I see people spending money on the wrong things and not being really educated around core KPIs and what's working and what's not. So the first thing I'd say with Instagram and Facebook ads, please don't do these. If you are doing them yourself, I really recommend delegating this out to a Facebook expert. They are changing like the wind. You want to get the best rate, the best cost per click, the best algorithm. You need an expert in the field. I've not run ads for about 5-6 years. I wouldn't actually understand how to set one up now. Okay. But you want the best bang for your buck. You need to delegate that out. You can do it yourself, but you're not going to get the best conversion. I also wouldn't recommend with Facebook and Instagram ads, if you've got the mindset of, I'm going to give it a go, or I'm going to give it a push for 2 weeks and then I'm going to turn them off. How ads work the best is if you've got them running consistently. Now, this depends if you're monthly or termly. Your model may differentiate on this piece of advice, but you will find, as I said, this is why our community exists. If you need help with building out that strategy, if you're a termly model and what that looks like, I just want you to put in the chat box for us ads, so we can then personalize that for you. But when you're looking at your ads, you want to go into it with, what is my consistency on this? You're better to go in at like £10 a day, 365 days of the year, for example, rather than going, do you know, I've got £1,000, I'm going to stick it all on and let's hope for the best in the next month. Because you need to build that consistent platform, that isn't the peaks and the troughs. I said, if you want to be trialing and be booking people every day, this is how you do it. You don't do it through ebbs and flows, but you've got to commit. So if you say, you know, I haven't got the budget at the minute for ads, I can't commit to consistently building, that's not a problem. Don't do ads then, because I don't want you to waste your money. Don't go in it with 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You either go full in and jump in that big pool, or you don't bother getting wet. And there's plenty of other ways. I'm not going to go into local marketing and other things today because I've only got a short amount of time with you. But you literally, there's so many other ways. If you're not doing ads, sometimes people say, but that's the only way of marketing. No, it's not. There's so many. Yes, it's very effective and time efficient for sure, and targeted. I love ads. I run everything on ads. But there was a time we didn't run them. Well, when I started my business, Facebook ads didn't even exist. So you can really lean in to local traffic. So few things when you're building your Facebook and Instagram ads, this is what I want you to start tracking. You need to be tracking your number of clicks, your number of leads, your clicks to conversions, your clicks to leads conversions, your cost per click. Don't worry, I'm going to go through these again in a minute. Your cost per lead and your amount spent. I'm going to repeat these. Your number of clicks, your number of leads, your clicks to leads conversion, your cost per click, your cost per lead, and your amount spent. These core metrics are vital because let's say you're running them and you haven't got an expert. You need to know what you're looking at. Let's say you delegate it out. I don't know anything about Facebook ads anymore in terms of the back end operation and how they work because it's changing all the time. But I do know my key core KPIs. And exactly what I've just given you. I know when I'm looking at something, is that working? Is that not? Cut it, stop it, reboot, shape the image, cut that, change your testimonial, whatever it is. I can see within 30 seconds what's going right and what's going wrong. So that is your goal as the leader of your business. Whether you're delegated it out or if you've got someone in, you should know that because that's how you lose. If you don't know those core metrics, you need to know you're going to waste money, basically. All right. So they're the core ones. Now, the reason I wanted to start with this, with your external marketing, is those core areas. You don't need to know 20 different. I've seen some people's KPI sheets before, and I get sleepy looking at it when I'm like, you are not going to keep consistent with that. I want to keep things simple for you guys. Running a business is hard enough without overcomplicating things. So what do you need to know? What are the core basics? Strip out the metrics. I love numbers, but it's not always been my strength. Focus on what you can understand and build your confidence. So those core metrics are really, really important as you grow and as you start building your ads. If you're a seasoned adder, shall I say, if you're a seasoned adder, then amazing. But look, are you tracking in the best facility? Are you tracking the best ones? Do you understand them? Are you getting the best conversions? Do you have this delegated out and you never see any numbers? I've seen people working with Facebook experts and I don't know what's going on. They're running them. They need to be producing this for them. You guide the ship. You delegate out, but you're not advocating from the role. So delegate out, but you're wanting to see the KPIs, what's working, what's not. Okay. So step 1, external marketing, all about how to run your Facebook and your Instagram ads efficiently and more cost effective. You get this right, you will have a consistent system. Even if you just do this one thing out of today's masterclass, you do this right, you will have consistent enrollments. When we turn our ads off, our enrollments stop. There's always a trickle of word of mouth, for sure. But when we turn our ads off, we do other forms because we don't just want to rely on one stream. But when those ads are turned off, our trials and enrollments definitely slow. Okay, so get that dialed in, do that well, and you will, that in itself, you'll just start to see consistency through your numbers. Section 2, when we're talking about external marketing, your section 2 is all about your organic growth. So obviously I've done, and I've picked, and I've been careful as I've built this masterclass for you today of what is paid and what could be organic. So you want to do, as I said, don't just rely on one stream. You want to be multifaceted. We teach an 8-wheel marketing structure and a marketing system. So you're not just leaning on one side. So section 2 in external marketing is all about your organic growth. Now, socials is fantastic. We know it's a great way to promote our business. But please do not think, unless you've got a highly engaged audience and thousands of followers, that you think, I'm going to spend hours on curating the perfect reel or the perfect TikTok or the perfect call to action or the perfect image, and you spend hours on it and it's going to fall flat. Because majority of social media, you might get, of course, it's generating interest. Of course it is. But I want you to see social media as it's like your brand awareness. You're being consistent. You're showing what you do. You're showing up. You're consistent. But you're not seeing that as, I need a trial to come in from that. If you're struggling with student numbers now, you want to be leaning definitely more into the paid angle that I've just shared with you for Facebook and Instagram ads and doing it properly like I've just shared with you. But keep the brand awareness. Don't just stop that. Keep it, but literally be like, do you know what? I'm not relying on that. If it does, fantastic. But I'm not relying on that to bring me my next 20 new students to hit my goal this month. As I said, unless it's highly engaged, highly interactive, and you've got a large following. But I see so many people get so mixed up in this, spending hours on content. And just let me know, guys, put in the chat box if you feel like this. If you feel like socials drive you bananas, you know you need to be doing them, but it takes you hours to do any content. Just let me know where you're at on that. I'm seeing a few yeses on LinkedIn. Yep. It burnt out. Someone said that, Billy, yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's what actually caused me to really start burning out in my business, exhaustion. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Billy. Much appreciated for sharing that. It's looking at of you don't want to start hating your business or keep that you can't be consistent because you can't keep up with it. So as I said, one of the things you want to do is it's organic growth, it's brand awareness, it's your front end. Mixing that is part of your marketing wheel, but you're not solely relying on it. One of the things that we teach is called your content system. Now, nothing fancy, very easy name. Your content system is exactly what it sounds. It's not, I'm winging it. What am I going to post this week? What am I going to post today? Even what I'm going to post this month. We have clients that will do a quarterly content system. All of your ads are ready. All of your images, what's coming up, what testimonials, do you have any events? When's your free trial week? Are you doing a free trial? Do you not? Okay, either or is fine. I heavily say no free trials because that pays for your ads. What have you got coming up? Plan it out. Have a content day once a quarter. Build it into a content system. When are your campaigns? When are you promoting your income streams? When are you doing your events? When are your team building exercises? What are you got for your team? When are you celebrating your team? Team member of the month, team member of the quarter, whatever the case may be. So I want you to start being proactive rather than reactive, because if you've got any hope in being consistent with your marketing and creating consistent trials and enrollments on a day-to-day basis, you have to dial this in. It's about being super organized up front to then have the time on a day-to-day basis. And I literally said this to one of my clients yesterday. I 100%, because this is a question I get asked a lot, is, Katie, you've got 3 businesses and 3 young children. how do you do it? And I guarantee when I look back, it hasn't always been that way. I said, I've learned, I've implemented, I've grown, I've done a lot of mentorship, I've done a lot of one-to-one coaching. But the biggest thing is my organization. It's having structure in my months and quarters. For example, the beginning of the month this week is all about content creation. So I'll be doing all my content for all different businesses in 1 week. So I'm not spreading it across the whole of each week because I can't bear when something pops up on my calendar. I can't bear it when I'm like, oh my God, that shouldn't be there. That needs to be in the quarterly or monthly because it takes me off my focus from what the goal is that month that we're achieving. So it's getting clear structure on where are things that you can give yourself the best chance to be consistent in. What can you bulk together? What doesn't need to be weekly? What can be monthly? Or even go back. What doesn't have to be daily that can be weekly? Start there. What doesn't have to be weekly that can be monthly? What can be monthly that can be quarterly? And we've even taken it a step far. What's not quarterly? What's every 6 months? So to give you an example, we look at all of our systems and processes that we've got in place every 6 months. We can see by our KPIs if they're working or not. So, but every 6 months, we just review, maybe look at the content. What can we tweak? What can we change? What system do we not need anymore? But that doesn't need, they're so refined. It wasn't always like that. It used to be every month. But it's really getting, the biggest thing that I love to teach is your white space. Because for you to thrive in your business and to be in it and out of it, for you to be the CEO in your business, you've got to learn and get comfortable with, how can I create white space? How can I create this business to run without me? How can I create that system that can run without me? That I don't have to be the one pushing it all the time. So your content system is a great idea on that for you and how to build that out and to give you some freedom. I said, I've seen people creating content all the time. They're like, I'm just going to quickly do a reel. I'm just going to quickly jump on live. No, cut all that out. Because the business, if you're not there, it's got to be able to survive and thrive without you. Okay. So in terms of your organic growth, it's getting clear of what's coming up. I'm going to capture the 3 things that I want in that content plan. You've got your income streams, your campaigns. How are you making money? What are your events? Maybe you've got a workshop, masterclass, summer camp coming up, a movie night, a particular event, Easter event, summer event, whatever. Okay. And team events in there. So three areas. But get super clear on who you're speaking to. And when you get this really super clear from the beginning and you are planning it out across the year, you're not pivoting and said you are not reacting to the day to day. You're being proactive. So you will therefore find your wording, the way you speak about your business, your posts in terms of the call to actions will be so much more clear, therefore will separate you from the competitive market because you're not just winging it, you're actually planning it. As I said, you're being proactive. Many 90% of business owners I see in our space, I can tell looking at how they post and how their language is, I can tell that they're being reactive. They're not being proactive. Okay. And then a few things just in terms of external marketing. I want you just to think on what in that content plan, where does your live streaming go? You don't need to be live streaming every day, but what does that look like? Where are your videos? You can pre-record your videos, test it out. Are you being proactive in terms of recording videos up front? That can be in your content system. Do you do 1 day a week that you're just going live? Often with our market, they said it's not the same old for everybody. It really depends on your market. Often it could just be a quick video of kids in action or doing a testimonial with a parent, but build that in. What does live streaming look like for you? It's having your reels. You could do a live stream and cut that into 3 or 4 different pieces of content. We do that a lot. People will often say to me, Casey, we see you everywhere. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm religious and consistent at doing content in my monthly, quarterly content block. But then that's cut into about 50 different pieces of content. So how can you be smarter with building your content system so it enables you to be out there building brand awareness that you are then consistent at doing? that you're not, you'll post on a Monday and then suddenly you forget and there's nothing up there till a week later, or you're thinking, oh my gosh, we've got that event coming up. Oh, has anyone advertised summer camps? Oh, did we know we've got that event coming up next week? Have we put out any advertisement for that? You want to get away from that completely. Get away from that completely so that you can then be, as I said, proactive rather than reactive. And believe me, my friends, believe me, you will love me for saying this because you won't feel as stressed. You won't feel burnt out, exhausted, because you are planning ahead. You're seeing what's coming up. You feel in control. And you cannot be the CEO of your business if you're not in control of your business and you're flying by the seat of your pants. Okay. So I'm going to touch briefly, before we go on internal marketing, I'm just going to touch on briefly in terms of a little bit of local presence. Like I said, if you don't have the budget for your Facebook and Instagram ads, don't stress out too much. You know, there is so much worth in local marketing still. Don't need to do too much. Local Facebook groups, they're free. Dig into them. We're religious with them. Every Monday when we're allowed to post, we will post. And it's brand awareness a lot of the time. Sometimes we get leads from it, but it's free and we're consistent. Brand awareness, local area. Standard leaflets in schools, leaflets in nurseries. Remember, more times, gone are the days, unfortunately, for most of the schools, they want money now. I used to remember literally thousands of leaflets in my car, going around to all the schools, dropping off in little like 30 per class. Here we go. Thank you so much. Here we go. All free. Now it's like contribution of £50, contribution of £10, contribution of £20. So we pick our best schools and we will still, no matter how established the venue, we will do that mix of online and local. So local schools, local nurseries, local Facebook groups. I often get asked about leaflets in fact, I was asked this last week, of leaflets into letterboxes. I don't like it. I've done it. I didn't get anything from it. It's costly to get someone to do that for you. And to get any results, you need to do it in its thousands, you know, and many houses, you don't know who lives in that house. So you think, you know, you've got 100 leaflets going out. I think the reality is, you know, 20% won't accept leaflets. And then you've got another probably 30, 40% kids might not live in the house. And then you're breaking it down. And then the reality of the ones when you break it down, they've got kids, they're actually going to be interested. It's pretty low. So I wanted to touch on that. So I said, I literally got asked about that last week. And, you know, local events, local fairs, Christmas fairs, summer fairs, anything like that still has its place in the market as long as it's specialized, as long as you know the area, you know the market, you know your candidate is going to be there. Children, most likely you're fine with summer and school fairs. But just be aware of, I always recommend if you're doing an event in a local area, make sure your children are showcasing something. I have found it so hard. I don't do these anymore. I actually don't like local events. We don't get much traction, but I do coach people that do. So please don't take my experience with this. But I know performing arts do really well on this. So one of our coaches at Gold Medal, Shelley, who's been through all of our programs and now teaches all the performing arts mentees, she does incredibly well at live events. Fantastic. But her kids are performing. So that's what I'd say. Don't just have a stand. Have kids performing. Drive people from the stage with a mic. Go to my stand. Let's book your trial. Free trials now. That's where free trials have a good edge. Let's get you booked in. But they have their place in the market. Just has to be right for your business. Okay. So that is external marketing, guys. Now, before we move on to internal marketing, as I said, I like to make these masterclasses as Q&A as possible and to as much personalization as we can give you. I'm just going to breathe for like a minute. Any questions that are popping up before I move to internal marketing, this is your chance. Pop it in the chat box. Any questions on what I've covered so far that are resonating with you, or you feel like you need a little bit extra help or clarification? I have to drink my 3 litres of water a day. Well, if there's no direct questions, I can see lots bubbling away online. Anything that's resonated with you so far? What's the one thing that's jumped out at you that has resonated, that's been a light bulb moment? Maybe it's just the word consistency. As I said, a lot of this is deep root foundations. It's not nothing new. It's just your mindset around it, how to officiate it, how to make it more cost effective, how to lead it into your business. Breaking, yes. Thank you, Alicia. I think that's Alicia. Breaking internal, external, breaking them into two camps. Yep, you're going to hear more about internal in a minute, but external, yeah, good way of thinking. Sam, thank you for sharing, Sam. Yes, how to track your ads and the mindset around ads. Yes, has bad. Oh, he's writing. Yes, Sam, you've had bad experience with ads, lost a lot of money. Yes, that's why I always say you make sure, unless you can commit, unless you know what you're looking at, please don't do ads. You'll waste a lot of money. They can be phenomenal, but they can also go the other way. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys? Said this is your time. I'm here to answer them. Use me. Pick my brain. Use my knowledge. This is your time. You are live. You've made the time in your schedule. Make it count. Okay. We all good. I know there's always loads of questions that come off the back of these, and I guarantee they'll be emailed later to our team. So if anything sparks out later on, then that's when you chance pop it in the Facebook group. If you're not part of our Facebook group, it's been emailed to you. That's where live trainings go, the recordings go of the masterclass today, and lots of great nuggets and tips and strategy also go into our free Facebook group. So it's been emailed to you. If you're not getting emails from us, please just write email in the chat box, because it might be hiding in your junk or spam. Quite honestly, it would be under gold medal coaching. So just find that within your junk or spam, but please look, because that's where you have got all the reminders about this masterclass as well. Okay, guys. So before we go on to internal marketing, I want you to think of your business as where it's at now and where you want your business to be. So as our starting mentorship at Gold Medal Business is called Silver Mentorship. I said we have silver and gold, very much in line with Gold Medal Business. And this is very much for you. If you are, we designed this for you, the children's activity entrepreneur. If you're fed up of winging it, you might have a strong business, or you might have a very new business, but you're wanting to create more money, more profit, a team that can run things with and without you. You're wanting to build core systems that are built and specialized around the children's activity world to give you those systems and those processes to enable you to be in the business and out the business. And you're wanting to build that strong team of like-minded individuals and know what systems you need to use around your team. Why your team may be fluffy and in and out of your business, and you feel like you get team members in and they're gone as quick as they've just come in. So we're not building team today. We're not focusing on that. But all of those core elements, from building out your systems and processes, to building out your team, to building out your enrollments and making sure you've got consistent enrollments day in, day out, then you need to seriously look at our silver mentorship. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of what this covers for you. So our silver mentorship is $149 for the month. It's £99 as part of this masterclass, and that is valid till Sunday of this week. Now, with that, you get 2 calls a week. We are massive at Gold Medal. Throughout my 20 years of experience, I've had mentors in all shapes and sizes throughout the years, meaning I've had one-to-one coaching. I've had self-study coaching. I've had group coaching. I've had mastermind coaching. I would not have the businesses today that I have if I didn't have mentors and coaching. Mentorship is so important to reach your goals. You cannot do it by yourself. But from that experience, it's a hybrid of self-study and coaching. So you get access to our core 6 systems that you need to implement. That is your self-study piece. Your second piece is your implementation. So you get Q&A with our team of coaches every Tuesday. You get a training with me every Thursday. We've just come off the back of 5 weeks of summer camp planning to ensure your numbers and your camps are insanely strong as we go through the summer months. But when you mix group coaching with self-study, you then build a fantastic hybrid system that will give you self-study mixed with the accountability. That is one of the biggest reasons why people join our silver mentorship. When they want that accountability, you want a bit of pushing, but you need something that's reasonable and priced in the right way. That's not the price of our one-to-one coaching, but that's also going to give you the accountability and a community to bounce off on. So that is our silver mentorship and why it's so successful with the hybrid of the two, self-study mixed with the group coaching. Now, our silver mentorship, as I said, it's £99 till Sunday. It's absolute steal for that level of support, or it's £149 after Sunday. Now, we have a particular bonus. So if you're looking at thinking, I love all this content system, how do I pull this together? We have a department in Gold Medal Business called Hire Our Team. Hire Our Team is our team of virtual assistants that deal with all of our Facebook ads. Our Facebook ads specialist is separate. This is not part of this bonus that I'm talking about, but they deal with all the content creation, content systems, day-to-day running of people's businesses, systems, processing. So if you're thinking this all sounds great, but I've got no time, I've got no team, and you're spending hours doing any tech, you don't need to. As I said, one of the things that I'm so passionate about of why we've got the time today is from the teams and what you can delegate out. So as part of our silver mentorship till Sunday, anyone that joins our silver mentorship gets 10 hours of free, free VA support. So you get a taste of what having a VA is life-changing, believe me, can do for your business. And you can then straight away give them some content stuff. Or if you've already got that in place, give them something else. So as I said, it's £99 till Sunday plus 10 hours of VA support, which is normally a couple of £100 a month. So you can really understand, because you're not going to move forward in your business unless you understand the power of delegation and the power of building out these systems. So as I said, the information's gone out. If you're more interested, if you want further information on silver, I want you just to drop us a comment in the chat box or on the socials that you're on. It also will be emailed to you as well and will be in the Facebook group. Okay, so internal marketing. These are your 4 R's. So you have got your 4 R's on retention, reactivation, referrals, and renewals. So first of all, I want us to look at the reason why we bulk these together is because external without internal, you're losing money on the table. Internal without external, exactly the same. You need to be targeting both ends. So many people just target external. They forget what's in their actual business. There's so much money internally, so much money. I had a client that said to me, I really want to work with you, Katie, one-on-one, but I can't afford it. And I then looked and dug a little bit and she did a one-off consultation. I said, look, there's 20 grand, you're missing it. And that paid for her mentorship. Once she'd plugged that and pushed it into her system and then 2 or 3 months implement it, she had the money. Because there was so much money actually in her business that she couldn't see. You can't see it when you're so close to your business. So internal marketing, I said, we're looking at your 4 R's. So I'm going to just share what, in terms of the power of when you're really working these on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis. So let's look at reactivation to start with. So your reactivation, every 3 months, we will have a system that will go out, that will send an email, that will send a text, that our team will follow up for all those who have been with us before and no longer, for whatever excuse. It's also a cleaning out exercise as well. As they're doing that, we want to see who's not engaged anymore, who can we delete. Now, before I go into this further, I want you to get super clear on your 2 camps of your database. Let's say every single person that has ever inquired with you is not your efficient list. That's your database list. You then want to build these into categories. We call it your power list. Your power list is anyone that has been segregated and is a lead that is being worked. So whenever someone comes from not interested, they've just cancelled, they go straight into reactivation. They won't be emailed for 3 to 4 months straight away, not like they just left and reactivate. Please don't do that. But they're put in the right column. So they're put in the right column. That is a list that we're like, that's a fresh list. That's a list that has left us in the last 6 months. That's a list in the last 6 to 12 months. So you can differentiate your language. Think of what I said about the content system. Differentiate your language. How can you stand out? What's working, what's not? How can you get those people to come back? So you're not just blitzing, and I see this time and time again and again. We used to do this, just being like one email, bog standard, one size fits all. It goes to 3,000 people on my list, if not more. And your CRM, because you'll get a lot of bounce backs, a lot of people will block you because it's not nurtured. It's just a blast out. You want to increase the efficiency of your marketing. You need to make sure you're looking at your numbers. You need to look at what's being sent, what's not. How can I make that's only going to go to a tailored list? Yeah. So just make sure, this is a really great one when you're just in looking at how to reactivate, that your list is targeted. Now, this will take you a while. Rome's not built in a day, guys. So I want you to look. Your reactivation list might be a right mess at the minute. That's okay. You're aware of it. Break it down. Look at who you might cut. When we first did this, we actually removed 50% of the list. Now, how can you break that down into when they've cancelled? Maybe even get more specific. Did they ever have a trial? Were they with you? So maybe we actually reactivate old lead. Did they ever book that trial? Were they actually with us? Did they attend classes? Did they have the trial and not enroll? So just those three camps, you can market so differently because they're having language like, so sorry you didn't join us. I see that you booked your trial. I'm so sorry to hear the trial wasn't successful. It wasn't a great time for you. Maybe the class wasn't right. Was it a price issue? Was it logistics? Yeah. Would love to offer you. We've got a great new offer coming up. Boom, there it is. You spoke directly. Someone that's been with you. You were with us for over 4 years. Blah, blah, blah. We would love to invite you back. We know things change. Kids move on to different activities, but we know kids always come back to us time and time again. We'd love to see you again. You've acknowledged they were a member. We're honoring you and your commitment. You're not just blasting them with the same information. Okay. So reactivation, get clear on what that looks like in your business and how you can market it efficiently. Same with renewal. So the same process on building your power list you can do. Now, I recommend you do this in our CRM. You can do this in a spreadsheet, but I wouldn't recommend it for GDPR reasons. And it's going to get too complex. And that's not a system you can replicate and is scalable. So I'd recommend building it as a pipeline in your CRM. Again, if you need help with that, use your 10 hours bonus from the VAs. They can help. They'll whip this all up for you in a couple of hours. Reactivation. Looking at your renewals, what is being renewed? Do you have yearly memberships? Do you have monthly memberships? Do you have quarterly memberships? Tracking, making sure you're not missing out. So often I've seen of people, businesses, not so much monthly because it's normally completely set up on direct debit, but definitely for yearly, where, oh my God, I've missed the boat. That person should have enrolled 2 months ago. Yeah, you'll get the money eventually, but cash is king in your business. You need to be forefront. You need to be organized. And it is not good when you're going to a customer going, I see that your membership has expired 2 months ago. You're likely maybe not even get that money. That person might disappear. So utilize this for renewals as well. The same process that I've just taught for reactivations, making sure you've got it systemized as a pipeline, have the right emails to send out, the right texts. Okay. Same with referral. So let's say you've got referral and you're asking for maybe it's a review, maybe it's for bring a friend, maybe it's recommend a friend, whatever the offer. Do you have all your customers in one place? We separate them in ages. We have preschool, we have older children, 4 to 12, 6 months to 4 years. The reason why, how we talk to them is different. We're not going to send the same information to preschool that we will send to the older age group. So when we're asking them, when they become, how our funnel would work is when they become a new client, they go into a funnel, which is just emails and text, but it's all automated. And they will be sent a welcome pack. And then 4 weeks later, they're asked to do a review. Get them while they're hot. Okay. Do a 4 weeks in. Let's ask them for a review. When they do a review, they go into the section, this is all automated, that they've given a review to us. So we don't have to ask, we're not getting embarrassed. Oh, I've already left one. And you're like, oh yeah, sorry to ask again. Yeah. So that is in there. And then 4 weeks later, it sends them on about, did you know about our bring a friend policy? Did you know you can get X amount of discount if you recommend your little friend, little friend around the corner? We use Go High Level. we use. There's many CRMs, but our Go High Level does a lot and is very cost efficient on your business. It depends every business is different. As I said, we do work with a lot of businesses some are business to schools. Obviously, if you're business consumer, it can work with all of them. But as I said, there are many different CRMs out there. Okay. But this is something, the VA, setting everything up. So if anything you're hearing me say is you're like, this sounds great, I've got no clue how to do it, you shouldn't be doing it. That's a waste of your time. You shouldn't be tech heavy in the background. You've got many other things. You best be marketing your business than be doing the tech. Okay. If you're feeling burnt out, things aren't moving, things are not where you're going, I guarantee if I look at your schedule, you're spending time in the wrong areas. 100%. So you've got reactivation, you've got renewal, you've got referral, and then you've got retention. So you can use exact same formula that I've just taught you for retention. What are you sending out on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis? Do you have your newsletter? We send one a quarter. They don't need one a week. They don't need one a month. We send things once a month on what they're learning, skills of the week that's coming up, how you coordinating and communicating with your clients to ensure the retention is strong. Are you building out customer care weeks? So we have something we call Customer Care Week twice a year during non-busy times. My team will be giving customers a call, just checking in, how they getting on. And that can then turn into a referral. That will then turn into, I'd also like to bring little Sammy's friend as well. So when you're building this out, and I said, if this feels overwhelming, pick one. Said this masterclass, we've had people that have signed up that have just started their business and some that are turning over 300,000-400,000 a year. You find out where you're at and you build exactly where you need to be at this point. You pick one. Okay. In our silver mentorship, that's where you get the support of our coaches. Again, that's why we have the calls. So if you're like, I don't know what to do, I need further support with this, that's it. You plug into the calls, get there on a Tuesday, get there for Q&A, get there on a Thursday for questions and training. You will get the personalization for your business, but in a group setting. The trainings are all recorded as well, guys, if you can't be live, and people are always submitting questions. So I really want you to look at when you're building your internal structure, really get those 4 camps: reactivation, renewal, referral, and retention, and start building them. Said not all together, pick one. Now you mix your internal structure with your external structure, you will start building a solid, consistent enrollment system that is not always completely around your efforts and completely around your time. Because that's the biggest thing I see in so many businesses: admin, organization, flapping about, doing things that don't need to be done. And we all know we do them. Organization, and most importantly, you're being reactive, not proactive. Okay, so just think, as we're coming to the end of today's masterclass, that really think, what one thing can you take from today's session together on internal and external marketing? How are you going to build that out? What that looks like, and what's the key thing that you're going to do before the end of this week to start thinking about and implementing into your business. So I hope you found today's masterclass incredibly useful. I hope you've built some great foundations and feel like you've got the skills and, most importantly, the mindset of starting to be a seasoned marketeer in your business, because your main role as a CEO is the marketeer. You are visionary, you're a leader, and you're the marketeer in your business. So I'll be super excited to see you all within our silver mentorship. As said, if you're really serious about your business, you're wanting to make the rest of 2026 very different, and you need the support. You stop winging it, stop doing it by yourself, stop watching every video and expecting it to change your business. It won't. You need specialized support in the right area at the right time of where you're at in your journey. So I look forward to seeing you in our silver mentorship. If you're watching this on record, the recording will be up in the next 24 hours for you. It'll be sent out in the Facebook group, and it will be sent out on email as well. But look forward to seeing lots of you in our silver mentorship and transforming and supporting you and holding your hand to transform your business moving forwards. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to welcoming you to our community. Take care, guys. Bye.